wanted to talk to you about Gen Z dating slang once again. And one of the terms I came across is déjà vu, as in déjà vu, but boo. So it is the moment when you realize you've basically dated this exact person before. Just with different hair and the definition is slightly different trauma and slightly different dysfunctionality. But you have this pattern of finding a certain type of person. And I mean, this is very common in like movies and TV shows, like, oh, you're always dating this type of person. And so I wanted to ask you about if a person finds that, man, I keep dating this type of person and ending up in this type of situation, and now it's happened 4 times and I can't really ignore it anymore. What the heck is going on? How do you start to unpack that as a human being who's recognized this pattern?
I mean, undoubtedly, it's from your upbringing and your past, right? Because if you see a pattern like that, it is your way of trying to take control of a situation, right? Like you have something that's happened to you as a kid feel really unclosed, right? It's a circle that hasn't been closed. So there's a part of you that the only thing you want to do in life is close that loop.
Interesting. What's an easy to understand example, maybe quite a common example of this type of thing?
I had a parent who was quite dismissive and not very present with me, almost neglectful in ways. Obviously, they provided food for me and a roof on my head, but anytime I felt anything, it was sort of, you know, I've got bigger fish to fry, I've got more important things to do. And their problems, the adults' problems, were always bigger than your problems as a kid, right? So then you will tend to seek out somebody who is also emotionally a little bit unavailable, a little bit dismissive of how you feel. What you feel is not that important, right? I mean, a few reasons, right? One is you wish that this time round you could take control of it, and this time round you could turn it all around.
You could solve it.
And solve it. And now this person would become attentive and emotionally present. And sometimes you do see that person shift a little bit, especially if you've got practice and that's the third person you're dating who's like that.
You manage to fix them.
Yeah, you fix them a little bit more than the one before, right? Which feels like a development or growth. I think the other thing about it is that sometimes what's familiar feels exciting or interesting, right? Or it feels like what you want, even though it's not necessarily good or pleasant.
Even if it's familiar, unpleasant, it's still familiar and comfortable.
Yeah. And I think that the person that you're dating can often be your attempt to make right the wrongs that have been done to you, right? And when you see a little bit of progress, it kind of pulls you in and you're like, oh, okay, maybe this will work. And then doesn't, right? Because whatever happens after that. But that little bit of like leaving the crumbs keeps you going.
And so is the better approach to figure out those issues from childhood, those patterns from childhood, separate from your relationship, just do the work on yourself first and then seek different kinds of partners? Or like, is that what you're supposed to do? Like recognize that, okay, this pattern comes from somewhere. Let me take some time now to do some work on myself. And then I'm going to go back out there into the dating world. Is that how?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to unpack all the things that happen to understand how they're affecting the way you perceive people, right? Because you're not noticing that pattern.
So it's not so simple of, you know what, I'm not dating that kind of guy anymore.
You can't, because you will naturally keep still being more attracted to them than the other until that part of you is healed.
But why attracted to them? Like, I understand the need to like want to solve that problem, but why does that translate to attraction?
It's like self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Is like you sometimes see in the other person what you believe about yourself. So it's like, I feel I am not important and not interesting. And so when someone shows you disinterest or shows you that you're not that important, you're like, oh, see, that thing, that's true. That somehow that familiarity.
Almost like they understand me.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, but it feels like comforting in a weird way.
So as hard as it is, the way through it is to do the work on yourself on your own first. And then when you sort of like re-emerge.
For that example, it's you do the work, then you realize I am important. Whatever was going on with my parent, this is why it happened, but that doesn't mean I'm unimportant. I am important. How I feel does matter. And then you can seek someone who does actually show you you're important and that what you feel does matter.
Yeah, that's super strong.
Yeah,
that's a really good way to sort of give someone who's in that struggle right now a bit of hope, I think.